Good morning to another weekend Sunday live. Hopefully you guys are well, had a good week, enjoying the little sunshine that we are getting. So yeah, welcome to another live where we do a 20 question mock test and a demonstration of the HAS perception. Answer any questions that you may have. If you have a question, please type it in the chat. Let me just mute this. With a Q semicolon, just makes it a lot easier for me to find your questions. Otherwise, it just looks like a comment. So let's just take a look. Let's get my screens up. Right, so like I said, if you guys got any questions, please type it in the chat. If you're new here, just let me know that you are new, and welcome to you guys. If you're regulars, just shout out, hey, how's it going? And again, if you've got any questions about your driving test as well, type that in. I can answer that as well. Any queries where possible. I have not seen any comments coming through, so that must mean either I see the thumbs are going up, but no questions. Here we go. So it looks like it's gonna be one of those days where YouTube is really, really slow sending those messages through. Let me come out of this one, go into this one. Portia, good morning to you. Well, welcome. James, a good morning to you. Hopefully you guys are well. Halamina, how are you? Long time. It's funny because I was on the in the boot camp driving test, in the boot camp theory test, and your name popped up. You got your theory test this month because last month was Ramadan. So hopefully you got some studying done. Hopefully you are ready for your theory test at some point this month. If you got, remember, you've got the access to the boot camp. You got 28 days access. If you are denied access because your 28 days is up, please send an email to the support team and they will give you another 28 days access, so you have got full information for your theory test. So Halamina, hopefully that goes well for you. Enoch is new. Welcome to you. Sales, good morning to you. Mehmet, good morning to you. Blessings, good morning to you. Falash Shades, hopefully I'm saying it right. Good morning to you. Test is tomorrow, Monday. Again, if you've got any questions, any concerns, any doubts, let me try to clear that up by asking questions. I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new as well. But good luck for you tomorrow. Please come back next week. Let us know how you got on with your journey. Nazro's new as well. Good morning to you. Oh, Selena. Sales. Oh, welcome. New to the live, but not new to the theory training. Selena was part of the boot camp last week with the pupils. Iro, morning to you. Christina, good morning. Good morning to you. Ollie, good morning. Right. Let's just read this out. There's a response for 46 out of 50. So congratulations for passing. 63. You guys are hitting some high scores and HAS perception over the last month or so. So well done. Ollie, if you're still here, let me know what your next steps are. Are you looking to do a driving lessons, or are you looking to book a driving test because you've got some driving experience? But congratulations on passing, by the way. And thank you for coming. Let me know as well, because I've not seen your name before, so you got to be popping up, unless you was a silent listener, watcher. But thanks for breaking the silence anyway and let me know. Appreciate that. Abdullah. 48. Passed it. 48. Oh, missed the 50 by 2 and 50 out of 75. Congratulations. Again, Abdullah, let me know what your next steps are. Driving lessons or driving test. is later this month. Phil, well, you got a few months, got a few more Sundays with the live. Please keep joining us. Again, while you guys are studying, this is not just for Phil. While you guys are studying during the week, write down any questions, concerns that you may have. Bring it to the live. Let me answer it. Oh, you said it's actually tomorrow, is it? For some reason, I thought it was later on in the week. Because we've got a few from the bootcamp going out this month in April. So yeah, I wish you luck with that. Like I said, go to the I would, if you got time, it's been a Sunday, go on the training platform if you haven't already, and just brush up on any bits and pieces. You can watch your recording of the week that you was on as well, just any last minute prep. But yeah, I wish you luck with that. Send us an email how it went, good, bad, or indifferent. Send us an email, and then we can put a plan in place. If it doesn't go according to plan, we can put a plan in place if it goes according to plan. But we got you covered. Halima. Mercy. First time here, so welcome. Last November. Well, first and foremost, the people that recommended the channel, thank them for me. I appreciate you guys spreading the word because it's growing and growing. And that's because of you guys spreading and sharing as well. Mercy, I've got to ask myself, if you started last November and we are in April now, what's taking you so long to take a test? You got to take it at some point. Deleted account. 47 out of 50. Well done to you. 52 out of 75. Only 10 days of preparation. I have got a video on the channel passed within 7 days, and you've done it in 10. So that's brilliant. Again, what's your next step? Pradeep Kumar, good morning to you. Yeah, deleted account. What's your next step? Driving lessons or booking a driving test? Con, good morning to you. Kendra Cupcakes. I love that. I've been watching videos today. Our first time live as well. Thank you for turning up. Daniel, good morning to you. All right, keep your comments coming. I don't get that. My theory test is on the 12th, but I can't clear the last. Do you mean you've taken it twice and you failed it twice? Is that what you mean by can't clear the last 2 tests? If that's the case, what I would suggest you do is the 12th, which is next week. Our people's have got the 11th. So yours is on the Saturday, I believe, because our people's are this Friday, the 11th. What I would suggest you do is look at the paperwork if you haven't already. If this is what you're talking about, because you said you can't clear the last 2, so I'm assuming that you failed the last 2. Look at the paperwork they gave you and see if there's a common denominator between the 2. So they will give you the categories you got the questions wrong in, and then see if any categories pop up on this on both paperworks. If that's the case, that's what you need to re-study with that, and strengthen the knowledge on that. But if that's not what you meant, just make it a little bit more clearer. Right, what I'm going to do is do a quick overview. I'm going to still keep looking at your comments, so please keep them coming. And let me just do a quick overview and we start the 20 question mock test, because you guys aren't here to hear me go on and on and on. Saying good morning to everyone. 14th of the month. 13th, 14th. So that's Monday week. So you got another live at least next Sunday. Again, while you're studying, let me write down any questions, bring it to the lives, and let me answer them. Let you send you in there next Monday with a lot more confidence. Yeah, unfortunately, Ollie, that's just the way it is across the country until the DVSA can do something about these scammers booking up all these test dates and selling it for expensive amounts. Just keep trying. I say this more or less every week, but everybody's onto it now, so it doesn't really work as well as it did before. Every Monday, the DVSA releases new test dates at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you may need to get up a little bit early, 10 to 6, 5 to 6, log on and just wait for 6 o'clock to hit. And hopefully you can pick up one of the new dates in your area. You may need to do it for 3 or 4 Mondays before it works, because like I said, everybody's doing it now because everyone's wise to it, but that's the way around it. Other than that, it's just log on from time to time, different times of the day on the DVSA website, and try to pick up something, because people do cancel. But like I said, everybody's searching the web, so you have to be on the right times and the right days, to be honest with that. But yeah, it's the same for everyone. There's no magic wand anymore. Right, so let me do a quick overview of the theory test. Right, for those of you that's not taken one or don't know how it works, because there's still quite a few of you just know that you have to take one, but you don't know what's involved. It's a 50 question test, and you have to get 43 out of 50 to pass. They're made up of 14 categories. If you didn't know, the theory test is made up of 14 categories. If you're studying on the apps have the categories broken down individually. And that's what I would suggest you do, is study each category in turn, because you need to understand them. Because when you go for the real test, the 50 questions are drawn from those 14 categories. So you can have 3 road signs, 2 motorway rules, 2 incidents, accidents, emergencies, and they're random tests. So there's 10 of you in the room. It's 10 different tests going on at the same time. It's not the same test for everybody. It's random. So that's why your knowledge has to be strong across the board. I would also add, because I'm still getting a lot of emails, a lot of WhatsApps to say that students are failing, but when they went in there, the questions are totally different from the app. The app are sample questions. Some of you are still studying and memorizing the answers from the app, thinking you're going to go in there and sail it. It doesn't work that way. The apps are sampled question. Nobody knows the real questions other than the DVSA themselves. They're sampled questions on apps, which means when you go for the real test, the questions are going to be worded slightly differently, and it's going to be questions that you've never seen before. So for example, on the apps, there's 774 questions, I believe, in total, give or take. The real test, the DVSA sets, has got a database between 1,200 and 1,500 questions. So there's at least 500 questions that you're never going to see via the apps, but they're sampled, and what you're working towards is a safe outcome with that situation. As I mentioned, you've got 57 minutes. Again, a lot of students are going in there and rushing. We had this conversation this week in the I'm gonna say WhatsApp group, in the boot camp group. You should not be rushing. You should be taking your time. 57 minutes is more than enough time. Once you start to rush for whatever reason, you're rushing to fail your theory test. Same thing on the driving test. If you're rushing on your driving test, you're rushing to fail it. 57 minutes is more than enough time. Take your time, read the questions carefully, read the answers carefully, and go from there. Once you finish the questions, you move on to the hazard perception, which is 14 videos. I will do a demonstration at the end of this session on the 20 question mock test to show you how to beat the system. But it's 14 videos, 13 of them have single hazards, and one of them's got a double, 2 5s. You need 44 out of 75. Your average across the board has to be 3. If your average is less than 3 when you click finish, you're going to fail. There's no ifs or buts about that. So your average has to be above 3 on that. But like I said, I'll do a demonstration to show you how to beat the system. And what you're looking for in terms of answers is looking for safety. It's got to be a safe outcome. If it's not a safe outcome, it would be a controlled outcome, which is normally your motorways and first aid questions. But the general answers are going to be lead to safety. If it's got the word safe, safety, safely in the answer, you have to shortlist it as possible. It doesn't always work, but I'll repeat, if it's got the words safe, safety, safely in the answer, you have to shortlist it as a possible answer. There's normally clues in the question. Again, if you read the question carefully, slow yourself down, read the question carefully. Sometimes there's clues in the question, and hopefully some of those questions pop up on the 20 question boxes that we're going to do. So that's the overview of the theory test. Let me just catch up with you guys. Your test is next week. There's not much I can do within a week. And you said, please help me. What am I helping with? A theory test is a bit massive than just me giving you general information. With that, got your test in May. So you got a little while, so it's over a month, give or take. So you've got quite a few more Sunday lives. Again, write down the questions that you may be struggling with, bring it along, and just keep the studying going with that. Just set a nice little structured timetable, if you like, during your next 4 weeks or so for your theory test. Another thing a lot of students are asking me is how to study. You have to do you. Everybody's different. Some people will do an hour at a time. Some people do 2 hours. Some people do 15 minutes. You can still study for 15 minutes as long as it's a quality 15 minutes. You can study for 2 hours and it means nothing because the 2 hours is not structured. It's just random. So you have to tailor it for you because not everybody has the same concentration span. There's no right or wrong way. There's just wrong if you don't study or take the information in. If it's structured, you can study at short lengths at a time. It doesn't have to be like you're doing A-levels. Sorry, Alfred. I'm assuming you mean test. Sorry, I don't understand that. Good morning, please. I had my test, but I failed. But there was a section of question called My Questions, of which I cannot see it on the app. Please, can you help me out? First of all, I don't know what app you're talking about. You need to put the app in. I'm assuming you're talking about the app on that, not the real test, because there's no such thing as My Questions on the real test. I'm assuming you're talking about the app, but you haven't typed the app in, so I can't help you with that. Give me a bit more information. Prince first timer, James. Right, speed limits is exactly what it says at the end. It's a limit, it's not a target. So you don't have to do the exact limit. I wouldn't be doing the exact limit. I teach my students to do 2 to 3 under. So if they're in a 20 zone, they do 17, 18. If they're in the 30 zone, they do 27, 28. And when we do dual carriageways, where I work, we've got a 60-mile-an-hour road, a single carriageway. So they do 57, 58. So it's not a target, it's the limit. So can you be between 50, what did you say on there? 50 and 60? Yeah, 50. If you're on the 70, 50 and 60 is a bit slow. I would admit that. That's going to be too slow, providing the traffic's flowing. But remember, you can't always do 70. If the traffic is slow, you have to drive to the conditions. That's for all areas, not just for 70 miles an hour. But if the road was clear and you're doing 50, 60 miles an hour, that's slow. If that was your driving test, you get marked down for not making progress. Hopefully that helps. All right, let me start the test and I'll still keep going on with your comments. Screen share. Right, so for those of you that are new here, what we'd do is read the question first. If it has an image, take a look at the image and then go to your options. So the road outside this school is marked with yellow zigzag lines. What do these lines mean? They're obviously talking about these. This is option A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Please put the question number. So if you think it's 1A, then that's what you want to type in. Put the question number. I say every week, there's a delay between me and YouTube, you and YouTube. I want to make sure we're always on the same question number. For a bonus point, does anyone know what the lines are for? It says here, what does the lines mean? So choose your option, but does anyone know what the lines are for as a bonus point? That's actually a theory test question in a real theory test. I did one theory test on the app. Just need your yes, I will check that out. It's probably be Monday. I've got a busy day after this live, so I will probably pick up that information on Monday at some point and give you feedback on your score. Oh, well done to you, Mercy. Congratulations. 7th of March. 42 got 8 questions wrong. Booked again after 2 weeks on the 3rd of April, which was this week gone, and scored 46. Well done to you. Congrats. What's next? Driving lessons? An examiner? Yeah, there you go. driving too slow, not making progress. So exactly what I would have said, that's a driving test. You're going to probably fail it. 50 to 60 on a 70 is too slow. As I said, you want to, if the road was clear, you need to make progress. You can't drive like Miss Daisy unless on any road, not the 70 miles an hour. A lot of students go slower on their driving test because they think they're safer. You're causing problems behind because the drivers have been held up. What they're going to try and do is overtake when it's not safe. So what I would be doing, like I said, I would drive 2 to 3. I teach my students what you do, because every instructor is different. I teach my students to drive 2 to 3 under the speed limit if it's safe to do it. Obviously, if it isn't, they have to drive slower for whatever reason. But 50 to 60 on a 70 is too slow. Lydia, welcome to you. Prince, first time here. The reason why you're scared to do your theory test is because you're scared to fail. That's the reason for everyone. That's life. You have to come out your comfort zone to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. For your case, for everybody's case with the theory test, you want to pass your driving test. You have to pass the theory test first before you can take a driving test. Being scared is natural. I still get scared on my exams when the examiner test checks me, and I've been doing the job for 30 years. So that's life. But if you know your stuff, it gives you a bit more confidence. So yeah, go for it, book it and go for it. And that's for everyone as well, by the way. Because again, we've had this conversation again. I'm going to use Selena as an example because she's in here. We spoke about she wasn't ready to book a ferry to blah, blah, blah. I think I encouraged her to book it on Friday. You can study and study and study. And before you know it, 2 months have passed, 3 months have passed, and you're still studying. You have to take the test at some point. I'm not saying go and take it when you're not ready. Take it when you feel partly ready. The reason being, there's only 2 ways the test is going to go. You're going to pass it or you're going to fail it. If you pass it, it's done, dusted. You move on, take your driving test, hopefully within the 2 years. And you don't have to do that again as long as you keep your license. If you fail it, it's data. It gives you information of what you need to work on. So if you fail it, it gives you data. If you keep studying and not take a test, you've got nothing to work towards or nothing to say, well, you're ready for a driving test. You can pass mock tests all day long on the apps. But as I said, there's only 774 questions. At some point, if you're studying, you're going to cover every 774 questions. So at some point, you're going to pass it. And that can give you a false sense of security in some cases. So you have to take the real test at some point, and it's data if it doesn't go according to plan. Don't take it to heart if you fail it. I know it feels gut-wrenching, you feel bad and all the rest of it. As I say to my students, if they fail, feel sorry for yourself for 24 hours. Do whatever you want to do for 24 hours. Hide yourself away, cry in your pillow, whatever it is. After 24 hours, you get back on horse and you start studying again. But use the data they gave you. It's only going to make you stronger. Let me just use, because she's here at this precise moment. This is the prime example, Mercy. I'm picking on you, Mercy. Here, if you read the comment, I took my first test on the 17th of March. I had 42.53 data. So I booked again, and right after 2 weeks on the 3rd of April, I scored 46 improvement. 55 has perception improvement. Data. The data was she got 8 questions wrong. Second time round, she's improved on that. And that's what the test is about. Like I said, sometimes you have to fail to move forward. You have to fail to get stronger. That's the way you want to look at it. Right, let me find these answers. But keep your comments coming. Marissa, how are you? Right, you're all going for D. And bonus point. Yes, it's a fair test question. Let me just reveal the answer. You guys went for D. Yeah, the lines are for school children to see and to be seen. I know you see parents parking on there, but it's wrong. It's illegal. So it's allowed children to see and to be seen clearly when crossing the road. So well done to you for knowing that. And I repeat, that's a real question on the theory test, by the way. You're driving a car fitted with driver drowsiness detection. When will your car alert you to take a break? This is the new questions, ADAS questions, advanced driving assist system questions, which are coming up. Like I said, with these questions, I'm going to do a video. I'm in the process of getting all the questions together. I'll do a video to reveal all the questions in there, but they are very, very simple to answer the way they've done it at the moment. And you'll see in a minute. How to join the boot camp? There's a link in the description. And when I change, I'm not going to leave it up. When I change to this scene, the QR code is in there. Oops. As well, you can scan that, but obviously I'm not going to do it now because you guys are doing this. When I go to that scene, you can scan the QR code, but the link is in the description. I feel twice mostly the rules of the road and motorway rules. I would double check that because you said I failed twice most of the rules of the road and motorway rules. I would double check your paperwork. I'm not saying you didn't, but I don't think you would have failed on motorway, mostly rules or motorway rules. There's got to be other questions that you would, or categories, shall I say, that you would have failed in. So just double check that. Yeah, hopefully it goes well for you, but please send the support team an email after tomorrow. Let us know how you got on so we can put plans in place for you either way. You have to do what you got to do. I've got pupils coming out of the area to do that. My view on this is that if you can, I teach my students to drive safe. I don't teach them to learn the test route. I teach my pupils to drive safely, which means they can go anywhere and technically drive safely, which means they can pass a driving test. If you've been taught to that way, then going to Newcastle to get an earlier date is not going to be much different. If you've been taught to learn a test route, then that's going to be an issue because obviously you're coming out of your comfort zone and you don't know the roads. So I can't really answer that. But like I say, if you've been taught to drive safely, which most instructors will teach you, then you can drive anywhere. And that's an option to you. If you say you also travel between the two cities, maybe going down a bit earlier, trying to get a couple lessons around Newcastle, because sometimes there are tricky routes, as regardless of how good you've been taught, there can be some tricky routes, tricky roundabouts, and just get a local knowledge instructor to sort of guide you around just in case you get that route on a day. That can be helpful as well. And man, good morning to you. I do all my lessons in London, but just do the driving in Newcastle. Yeah, like I said, you got to do you how you've been taught. But like I said, if you're being taught to drive safely, whereabouts in London are you being taught? By the way, that'd be interesting. Let me know in the comments what part of London you've been taught or you are taking lessons in. The two lines, Alfred, the two lines on the edge of the carriage, two lines on the edge of the curb is loading and unloading. The single ones certain times of the day, and a double one is no loading at all. But the lines on the pavement means loading and unloading. I think you mentioned that last week, or there was somebody else. I'm not sure. If that is the case, I'm not sure if it was you, because I think it was mental health. The person last week was talking about mental health. Like I said, when it comes to health, in full stop, the DVSA aren't the quickest people to respond. But I think I mentioned last week, if it was you talking about that, just give them a ring and keep nudging them. That's what you want to keep doing. So let me catch up with the twos. I'm not sure what you meant by that, James. I'd probably B because N's near B. Oh, there you go. Oops, let me check that. I'll come back to that in a minute, Denise. Right, common answer is B. Someone's got a D there. Anastasia, welcome to you. You changed your answer to D. All right, let's take a look. Cars fitted with drives in this. Oh, I've not seen this before. I should have worked this one out. Okay. All right, let me work this out live quickly. Hold on one sec. When you pass, take a break, Roseson. No. Again, like I said, this is very easy to work out because, like I said, I've not seen this one before. Breaking it down, let's quickly break it down. I know most of you got the right answer anyway. You're driving a car fitted with driver drowsiness detection. That's the clue. When will your car alert you to take a break? At a pre-programmed times of day. That's stupid. Get rid. After driving without a break for 4 hours, you shouldn't drive without 4 hours. That's a fairy test question, by the way. It's every 2 hours you should be taking a 15-minute break. And when you pass a take break road sign, so if you don't pass one, you're not going to get alerted. So that's why it's this one. Drowsiness detection, and it's got drowsiness is tiredness, and it's got tired in the answer as well. That's the reason why it's that one. Like I said, it's very easy to work out these ADAS questions. When could the cost of your insurance be reduced? I must have missed your first comment because this sounds like a follow-up. It says, I can drive. So he said, I check my mirrors well, but I don't look back at my blind spot. The question is, what are you looking at your blind spot for? You only check your blind spots when moving off from a parked position or your maneuvers. If you're driving normally, you don't need to check your blind spots unless you're changing lanes. So let me see if I don't know if that's your first comment, but blind spots are for moving off from a parked position. Blind spots isn't for general driving. So maybe I missed your other comment on that. Or maybe you want to shed more light on what you meant by that. Mary, silent follower. Passed first time in 48.63. Wow. No problem, Mary. Congratulations. Thank you for breaking your silence on part and letting me know how you got on. 49, Mr. 50 by 1 and 58. Congratulations on you, Babir Singh. I'm passing as well. Has percentage from my videos. Well, it's paid off. Driving lessons and booking the practical test. I wish you luck with the driving. Keep us up to date, or keep me updated with that. Luscious Love is wishing everyone good morning. Good morning. I failed mostly on motorway rules and first aid questions. Again, I would check, because you keep saying you're failing on particular motorway rules, unless you got a lot of questions on motorway rules and first aid. If you failed it, that means you got a minimum 8 questions wrong. And that is about 5 categories. What you're saying is mostly motorway rules and first aid. That would suggest it's less than 5 categories. But if I would bet, I'm not a betting man, but I would bet if you failed your theory tests and you got 42 or less, you got 5 or more categories wrong. So I would check your paperwork and just double check that. Because sometimes when someone feels they're weak on a particular category, that's what they say. I felt mostly on X, Y, Z. But it's not, it's a combination of X amount. That's why I say learn the categories and be strong in them. But if it's just multiple rules and first aid, then you're laughing. But I pretty much, if you got your paperwork to hand, check it and see if I'm wrong. You would have got at least 5 categories wrong. Just type yes or no in the comments if you got your paperwork to hand. Grace, good morning to you. All right, let me catch up with the phrase. Also with the what I'm saying is data. You've got to read it right. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I said, if you guys feel like you're weak on something, like road signs is common. I'm weak on road signs, and road signs popped up on one of the categories. That's what your brain tells you. I failed mostly on road signs, but you're missing the other categories you failed on. So you have to read the data correctly as well. Don't get blinded by what you feel. The data's right there, which is factual, not feelings. Because remember, you just failed, so you're emotional as well. You'll see it the way you want to see it. Right, C seems to be the common answer. C is common answer. Pass plus extra training. You're driving along a quiet motorway. Again, driver assistance. Which advanced driver assistance? Just try again. Dyslexia's kicking in. You're driving along a quiet motorway. Which advanced driver assistance systems is most likely to help you? So if you can hear noise in the background, it's my dog trying to chase a fly. I'm going to get him out. Hold on 1 second. Marcus, a bus came into my lane. An examiner had to brake. I felt everything went smooth, but no minors. So that would have been technically it's a D. If he had to brake through, that would be a D, dangerous. That's again luck of the day. If the bus didn't do that, then it probably would have been a pass. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. I'm sure I asked your questions about driving in London, wasn't it? Compared and Newcastle. If I've missed a question, you've got to type it in again. That's why I said put a Q semicolon. Otherwise it looks like a comment. 48 scored 0 in one of the videos. No thanks to clicking too much. Thank you for your dedication to what you do. I appreciate the comments and thank you for coming and let me know that you've passed even with a 0. Prince, welcome. Yeah, Selena, I know what you're talking about. I will pick up the Theory Test Pro results on Monday at some point. Happiness is sending out love to everyone. Loving that. Passed my Theory Test 27th of the 4th. That's March. 46 out of 50, 58 after going through your videos for 3 days. Congratulations to you, Grace. All right, what are we on number 4? Someone else typed that just in. I just saw that. Let me catch up with the fours. Fours, where are you? You guys are split. There's B's and C's on there. Wow. Right, you guys are split. Right, B's and C's. Let's break it down. You're driving along a quiet motorway, so it's quiet, so you should be in the left-hand lane. Which advanced driving assistance system is most likely to help you? Left-hand lane. Traffic jam, no, because it's quiet. Intelligent speed assist, it's quiet, so you should be doing 70 miles an hour, give or take. Lane departure, because you're in the left-hand lane, that's the right one based on so far. Automotive night vision, and it says nothing about night, so that's the reason why. Quiet motorway should be in the left-hand lane. Lane departure, if your car starts to drift, then it's going to alert you that you're drifting, so it's going to be that one. What was the other options you guys went for? D. B's and C's. Got nothing to do with B, because like I said, it's quiet, so it's got nothing to do with speed. You're driving a car with there's another one, ADAS. Okay, you're driving a car with blind spot monitoring function. What must you regularly check to make sure that the function will work properly? Okay, so I've not seen this one before, so let me just work this one out as well. Yeah, I've got the answer on that one. Please for something for 41 app. Don't understand what that means. There was different quantities which I have never seen because I have completed all the questions on the app. I'm not sure if you're talking about the real test or the app itself. It's not worded. Please verse something for 4-in-1 app. The apps, if you're paying for the versions, $4.99, which is the Theory Test Pro, the Driving Test Success, and the DVSA one. There's others out there, but those are the ones that I have seen and used over the time. They have been updated, so some of the questions, they've probably got more than 774 questions from now, to be fair. But they've added these questions that you're seeing. These questions here are the ADAS questions, which is basically driver assist questions that the modern day cars have nowadays. It's been updated with those on there. But as I said, they're very easy to work out. Oops, put this back. They're very easy to work out with that. That's the only question that's been updated is the ADAS questions. So hopefully that helps, Alfred. I'm not sure. If it doesn't, please retype the question. I practically left the app watching your videos. This may not work for everyone, but it did work for me. And my practical booked already. Wow. Congratulations to you. What videos would you recommend that would help? Driving school TV. Driving school TV, GD, can't say my words, DGN TV. Clearview, Conquer Driving School. Those are the 4 that I would recommend. There's others out there, but those are the 4 that I recommend that I send my pupils to. And they do mock test videos on there. They do basic driving videos on their turn left, turn right. I believe Francis of Driving School TV is doing a lot of, he's going around the country at different test centers doing test route videos on his channel at the moment. But those ones I would recommend to start off with. But like I said, there's others you probably find when YouTube starts recommending those channels to you. But those are the 4 that I would go for at this precise time. Oh, right. See, I missed I missed this comment, Dennis, and that makes sense. It's like my mock test with my driving. Right. So your mirrors are strong, but not checking the blind spots. Blind spots are from moving it from a park position or when you do your reversing exercises, not for normal driving. So you have to, and blind spots are massive on your driving test. So you do need to get in the habit of checking the blind spots before moving off. And the mirrors are also massive on your driving test, which is your hazard perception, by the way, when you're driving. So hopefully you can improve on that. But if the driving's okay, just make sure you're proving those two things because they're massive. What are we on? 5? Let's find the 5s. Again, you guys are split D's and A's. Okay, D's and A's. So let's take a look. Read the question. I'm breaking it down again. You're driving a car with blind spot, which is what Denise is talking about. Monitoring function. What must you regularly check to make sure that the function will work properly? You guys went for A's, that the dash cam is securely attached. It's got nothing to do with blind spots. Dash cam's at the front. Blind spots is behind. You got to make sure the sensors are clean. No dust, dirt, mud when you're driving, especially in the winter months. So it can work out your blind spots for you. That's what it is. Oh, a lot of ADS questions this morning. You're driving along a dual carriageway. This symbol is displayed on your dashboard. Which advanced driver assistance system is turned on? Again, look at the image. There's a clue there. Good morning to you. And then, yeah, danger. Once the examiner goes for the steering wheel, grabs the foot brake or helps you verbally, it normally classes as dangerous. Northwest London. Yeah, Northwest London could be a tricky place at the best of times. Yeah, like I said, burnt cinnamon. Yeah, if you're being taught to drive safely, you can drive anywhere. I just, like I said, if it was me and I'm looking to go to Newcastle, I would probably get a local instructor, go down a couple of days early if it's possible, get a local instructor, just show me any tricky spots that may come up on the test route. Because like I said, I don't care how good you are. There can be some tricky spots that you just need to work out on your driving. And if you already know it, then it keeps you calmer rather than stressing out. Yeah, the instructor is debrief. We always like to keep you on track. That's what I'm saying. You need this knowledge for your driving lessons. You don't want to be spending 10 minutes being explained what a road sign means, which is something that you should know, all rules of the road. Especially like a yellow junction box that comes up a lot on the driving lessons or driving test. I don't know about that. You've not seen me in a car yet. Thank you for the kind words. Number 6. So I'm just trying to find the 6s. You guys are typing so quick. I'll get there in the end. Hold on 1 second. Just bear with me. There we go. Here we are. That seems like the first one. Right. Most of you have gone for B. Teacher David, ICT Computer Science. Right, B seems to be the common choice. Like I said, there's a lanes, left, white lines either side. So you're looking for a lane. That's the only one. What should the driver of the red car arrow do? So look at the red car, look at the arrow. What should he do? Diana, welcome to you. How are you? "48 out of 50, 60 out of 75 has perception of your voice was all in my head during the exam." I love when the people say that. It means my job is done when you hear my voice, especially the people on driving test. Don't take chances. Don't take chances. If you can explain again the two or singular lines on the side of the road, thought the single is for parking restrictions and the double is for no parking. That's correct. Single yellow lines are parking restrictions, normally at certain times of the day, or they can turn around and say to drop off and pick up your passengers, but you can't wait for them. And the doubles, no parking at all. So you're correct on that one. Silence member. I had my theory test on Tuesday. 39 out of 50. So that's 11 questions wrong. Yeah, with 11 questions, I would imagine that's about 7 to 8 categories. That's almost half the categories. I would definitely go back to basics and do all the categories, study the categories individually, and then work your way up to mock tests to make sure those categories aren't showing up as a weakness. Again, that's what I would do, because 39 it's not what you want to hear. But like I said, you just have to take the information in to improve. That suggests there's still a lack of knowledge with 39. So I would definitely look at the paperwork. Like I said, it would be 7 to 8 categories at least, and that's almost half the categories wrong. Kelly Vlogs, good morning to you. Past 43. Your videos are very helpful. Thank you. No problem, Kelly Vlogs. You're welcome. 1st of May, Bristol, my theory test. Wish me luck. 1st of May, so you got just under 4 weeks. Again, you got another at least 3 Sundays lives. Come with any questions. My I had 41 first time, 42 second. So it's one improvement each time. The question I'd ask myself is, how soon after you book in the second test? You should never tear it up. That's like I said, that's data which you've now lost. Yeah, never tear up the paperwork. As much as you're disappointed, it's data. You need it. Just go again. You got 40. You're really getting one better each time. But like I said, my concern would be how soon after are you booking another test? Because I know from experience, when someone just in their mind just failed 41, 42, they book it literally straight away. That's not the best way to go. You, like I said, you got X amount of questions wrong or categories wrong. You need to study those categories again to build up that knowledge. So to get a driving test, I managed to secure 60 for the 9th. It's too far away from hopefully to change to nearer date and tips. The main thing is you've got one. If you're taking driving lessons, your instructor may be able to swap it with another student who's not ready, bring it forwards. Still keep checking the website. There are some apps out there, because you've got a test date. Once you've got a test date, you've got a bargaining tool. There are some apps, you'll have to Google them. I don't use them, so I can't tell you the names of them. You can, if you've got a test date, they can try and change it for you for an earlier one. And I think it may cost you, some of them are charging just a £10 fee just to change it for you. So I would Google test swap app, something along those lines, and see if you can type your date in and see if you can get it changed to an earlier one. What will be on 7? Let's get 7s. common answer is A. You would have gone for A. I have to assume that's correct. What's A? Wait for the pedestrian. Yeah, the pedestrian have priority, so wait for them to fully cross. You're not in a rush on a driving test, so no need to drive around them or beat them. You're on a motorway. What does it mean when a mandatory speed limit is displayed above the hard shoulder? Again, look at the image. I'm not sure what to comment to. Maybe I missed the first part of it, if there is a first part. These are still the 7th coming through. No, you're talking about you're talking about the single yellows and the double yellows at the side of the road. I can't remember who was asking. They're talking about the lines on the pavement. There's two different things. There's lines on the side of the road, which is parking restrictions, which is what you were saying. That's correct. And there's lines on the side on the pavement, on the curb edge, which is for loading and unloading. There's a difference. So don't stress. You're right in what you're thinking. That hasn't changed. But like I said, the person, I can't remember who it was asking about the lines on the pavement. And that's for loading and unloading. Eight. There we go. Again, mostly if you're agreeing with these. All right, let's take a look at the with 50 over the hard shoulder. Does it say hard shoulder? Yeah, hard shoulder. Missed it totally. It's classed as a running lane, which means you can use the hard shoulder. If it's an X over the hard shoulder, you can't use it. As you approach a pelican crossing, the lights change to green. What should you do if older people are still crossing? Marcus is saying, I just want to tell everyone on your test, don't be scared. Be like the examiner is your friend. Only 3 things, remember: mirror, observation, and junction. That is what they observed while you're driving. Thanks. If that works for you, that works for you. I tell my pupils, examiners don't want to fail you because you have to make a mistake to fail. They're not there to just make things up. And I don't worry about the examiner. Just don't focus on the examiner. Rather than think about him as a friend, just don't worry about him. And don't drive for the examiner. And what I mean by that, sometimes, again, this week with my student, she was trying to anticipate what I would say and what I'm thinking, which is wrong. But then she's driving for me, not for herself. What you need to do is just make your own decisions. The outcome of anything that you do with your driving test has to be safety or control. Control leads to the car, obviously, or controlling the situation in some situations, and safety. As long as you control the car and make a safe outcome, the examiner's not fussed on what you do and how you do it. That's the only 2 things he looks for: control and safety. And then you're passing your driving test all day long. So I wouldn't really worry about the examiner's focus on you driving. But again, you have to do what you've been practicing with your instructor, because every instructor gets your mindset differently set, if that makes sense. It's really late now. I did my last one September 24. That's a long time. May 5 is 5 months this year, and September, October, November, December, that's 8 months. 8 months apart. Hopefully you're studying and getting your knowledge back up to speed. About 17th of May, which is about 6 weeks away, give or take. So you've got plenty of time. Hopefully it goes well for you this time out. Wow, somebody's nice to just pass me. Let's go back. There we go. Right, again, the majority of you are A's. Right, let's take a look at A. Wait patiently. Yeah, wait patiently. Elderly people, anyone crossing the road, just wait patiently. Just because they're elderly doesn't mean to say they're any different. Just wait. Again, you're not in a rush on the test. Why do motorcyclists often look round over their right shoulder just before turning right? I tried calling you regarding the online theory lessons. Online theory lessons. My theory, yes, is on the 23rd of this month. When should I call you? I want to join. The question is, why are you calling me? I don't understand. If you want the online classes, then book it online. Me phoning me is not going to change anything. I can't book it for you. The link is in the description. And also, if you're phoning me, leave a message. Half of you phone me and don't leave messages. I don't return calls to numbers I don't know, because I receive so many phone calls. But if it's about online courses, you phoning me doesn't going to change anything. I can't book the course for you. So you book it online. You go through the website, the link in the description, the QR code that's on one of the scenes. That's the best thing to do. And if you are going to phone me, leave a message. That's what voicemail's for. 10th of April, which is Thursday. My guys are on the 11th, which is Friday, so Thursday. Again, just keep the preparation. I'm assuming that you are studying for it. Just keep the preparation. Don't get complacent. If you are passing mock test, don't think, yeah, I'm ready, and stop studying. Keep studying right up till the 10th, basically. But like I said, read the simple information I can give you, guides, advice. Read the questions carefully. Read the answers carefully. As you saw, look for clues in the questions. And take your time. If you don't know the answer, flag them, move on, and then go back to the flagged ones. And then if you still don't know the answer, work backwards. And what I mean by, there's always a stupid answer on there anyway. So get rid of the stupid answer and then the next stupid one, and so on and so on. And sometimes by default, you're just left with the correct answer anyway. But the most important thing is take your time and breathe. It sounds silly, but the brain needs oxygen. You guys go in there and stress and panic. Once your brain starts to panic, it can't think straight. A seems to be the common answer to check for traffic behind. Yeah, blind area. They would check. It's called, they're called, motorcycle is a life saver check. You guys are blind spot checks when you look over your shoulder. Why is it important to wear suitable shoes when you're driving? Some of the answers on there is ridiculous. It's your last live before my test. I'm ready to pass. It's confidence. I like that. Let you know what I get next week. Yeah. Again, yeah, please come back next week. Let us know. Good luck with it. Take your time and don't freak out in there. That's the most important thing. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Like I said, the way you explained the yellow lines is spot on. Just Jane, you said James was asking, it was different type of question. Oh, well done. Congratulations on passing. So you've passed it now, and 64 you has perception as well. It's a high score. Yeah, so well done to you. Obviously now Sundays you can actually come from work and dive into bed and don't have to turn up to a live anymore. So congrats. But when you get your driving sorted, whether it's lessons or tests, come back and just let us know how you're getting on with the driving, because it's nice to just keep track of you. But yeah, appreciate you giving up your time straight after work. Again, B seems to be the common one. Right, B seems to be common. To me, yeah, maintain control of the pedals. In other words, don't wear sandals. You ladies don't wear high heels when driving. It's not the best footwear to be wearing. What does it mean if this like comes on while you're driving? Gideon, good morning. My name is Gideon. I live in Southwark and I have attempted a theory test before but failed because I was not prepared. I have booked another one for the 29th of April, which is the end of the month. At least you know why you failed. Wasn't prepared, so now you got an idea of what to do, preparation. So hopefully on the 29th, it all goes well for you. Again, B is common. Just in case you guys didn't know, not taking driving lessons, for example, that's your handbrake light. And obviously when you put a handbrake up, it comes on. But if it comes on while you're driving and handbrake is off, it's normally going to be something along the lines of a brake fault. Again, the link is in the question. B's common answer. So like I said, it's a handbrake light. So you're looking for something along the lines of brake fault. And the common answer was B. So you brake, handbrake, brake in system. There's a clue, connection. That's your answer. What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Passed in February. Well, thank you for coming to the live after all this time and let me know how you got on. What are you up to now? Are you taking driving lessons? Or have you passed your test, driving test already? Let me know what you're up to. Josh, passed your third test after the 8th attempt. That's dedication for you. Well done, kept going. So there you go. There was a lot of personal commitment, which is unable to concentrate on my theory question. You are a star. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. And again, that's another thing as well. If you've got lots of things going on in your personal life, your focus is not always there. Maybe it's not the best time to take a theory test. Again, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who you guys are. When you ask me how's the best way to study, am I on track to passing, blah, 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 because I don't know you. And Josh and he's been honest to announce on here his personal commitments. It's 8th attempt. So kudos to you for keep going, to be honest. Well done. And I hope the driving goes well for you as well. I appreciate you coming in and saying that. A. James, was it a late night last night or something? You're mistyping all over the place. Right, A seems to be the common answer. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. Yep, that's correct. What does this road marking mean? Again, look at the image. So they're talking about the lines in the middle of the road. Failed second time. First attempt, 42 out of 50. So you got 8 questions wrong. And 26 out of 75. Sorry, 26. Am I missing something here? All right, okay. All right, I see what you've done. All right. Just my brain couldn't register. All right, okay. 42 out of 50. And then 26 out of 75. Right, hazard perception is obviously weak. So I don't know what hazard is because you shouldn't be getting 26. Second attempt, 34. It's gone down. Hazard perception's gone up. I think I have to chill and go back ending of the month. It depends what you mean by chill. If you mean stop studying, don't do anything, and then go back at the end of the month, it's not my advice. I would get back on it because you've gone down, not up. So if you got 8 questions wrong on the first one, that's about 5 categories, and then you've got 11, no, I can't add, 16 questions wrong on the second one, that's going to be at least 9 categories wrong. There's an issue. You got to ask yourself, why are you going backwards and not going forwards? If you chill out for a bit, then it may get worse. But like I said, only you know why, what happened in between the 2 tests. Your hazard perception's improved a great deal, so that's pretty much on point. But your questions have gone backwards. So what I would do with that is just keep studying. Don't have to be anything heavy. You can do it light, but I wouldn't take a quick, clean break if that's what you mean by chill. B, which should be hazard lines. Don't worry, be happy. Hazard lines, approaching hazards, yeah, hazard lines, approaching a hazard. The hazard is a bend, just in case you guys didn't know. Which vehicle should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? Which vehicles, I missed that bit, should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? Please, could you explain the last 3 questions on the theory test? You know, for video questions, it's always the last 3 questions with a video. Yeah, they're called case studies. So question 48, 49, and 50 are case studies. And they show you one video for those 3 questions. It's the same video. And then they, I like to say they base the questions on the video, but sometimes the questions have got nothing to do with the video. So you've got to be very careful you don't fall into the trap. It depends on what videos you get, but sometimes the questions have nothing to do with the video, but you're looking for an answer within the video. But that's all it is case studies. With those videos, you can watch them again and again and again and again. And that's what I advise the guys in my boot camp to do, is watch it 2 to 3 times. Because on the app, there's a video with the guy with the stick walking past a white building. And and it asks you what disability has he got. Because you guys only watch it once, you go for deaf. Sorry, blind. You go for blind because it looks like a white stick. But if you watch it 2 or 3 times, as he's getting the stick up and down as he's walking, you see a red stripe on it as well. So 2 colors, 2 disabilities. He's deaf and blind. But they're trying to train you to watch the video 2 or 3 times to pick up the clues. So all that is just case studies, and you can watch those videos as often as you want. My advice is watch it 2 to 3 times before answering the question. And if you still don't know what the answer is on the question, go back and watch the video. So hopefully that makes a bit more sense for you. There's a thought in the break. I'm not sure what that question's about, unless that's the handbrake one, which your internet's way behind. What are we on? 15. Again, comment is B. So you guys are all starting to agree now. Which vehicles? Any vehicles of any vehicle that's not overtaken. Let's take that one. No, no, no. Everybody should be staying left unless you are overtaking. You're driving on a road that has a cycle lane. What does it mean if a lane is marked by a broken line? Finally passed my test, had a 46 out of 50. Congratulations. No problem. I'm glad the advice helps you out. Again, let me know what you're doing next. Driving lessons. Are you taking driving lessons already? Or are you looking to book a driving test? Yardy Green, you're welcome. Don't know what help I gave you, but you're welcome. Unless I missed your comment. That's fine. Like I said, I personally watched it 2 or 3 times. But for those of you doing the apps, the one with the white stick and the white building is a prime example why you need to watch it more than once. 2016, I'm sure you meant 16. James, that's James again. You got a hangover. Again, common answer is D. Broken. You can go in there. This means you can go in there. It's unavoidable. So we're looking for that should not drive in the lane unless it's unavoidable. That's correct. You're driving an unfamiliar car fitted with advanced driver assistance system, ADAS. Where would you find information about how to use the ADAS correctly? I've not seen that one before as well, but yeah, that's pretty much straightforward as well. All from me. I'm here to preach the boot camp gospel again. I appreciate that. There's also Klarna for flexible payment. Happy Sunday, everyone. And saying happy Sunday. Yes, for the boot camp, there is Klarna, which offers free easy pays on. They don't have to pay it once. Klarna takes free easy pays. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that all for me. Appreciate that. I would also add, because a lot of you, not a lot, some of you are signing up to the boot camp. What you are getting for the boot camp, because some of you are signing up and waiting for your turn on the boot camp, because it starts every Monday to Friday, and some of you are signing up for April and May. I've got May booked up already, and for some of you that's already signed up, at the beginning, you're not realizing there's training on the training platform. What you're not just getting the 5-day training Zoom sessions with me. What you're getting is a whole training platform. So once you sign up, you don't have to wait for your week to start. You can log straight in and start the training. Every question, every answer, every category has been filmed by me, and it's given to you on the platform. There's extra videos on there. So if you struggle with road signs, there's extra road sign videos, extra motorway videos on there. There's PDFs you can download. You have access to the training and your recordings 28 days at a time. And that's just the way the training platform is. But technically, you've got lifetime access until you pass. So if you are failing and failing and failing, you still have access. It's not just the 5 days. The 5-day training you have access to, plus all the training. And if it doesn't go according to plan, for whatever reason, you still have access. All you got to do is send an email to the support team and they'll grant you another 28 days every time. So it's not just the 5 days you are getting. And some of you are not using the platform the way it should be used. So utilize it. That's what it's there for. Sandra saying good morning. And you are getting recordings of your sessions as well, just in case, again, you didn't realize. For within 24 hours, the recordings are loaded up and you can re-watch those recordings. But there's a whole module that's got the training that we do without the Zoom interruptions. So you can watch it without the Zoom interruptions on there as well. 10, I don't know, I'll put 10A on there. Yeah, some of you's internet's running slow. Right, 17A seems to be the common answer. And yeah, it's a manufacturer's handbook. Every car comes with a handbook. It tells you how to use your ADAS. What does it mean if the sign at a bus lane shows no times of operation? So there's no times of operation. Remember, if you guys got any questions, please type it in with a Q semicolon. That way I can find it and I can answer before we sign off. Especially if you've got a test coming up in the next week or two. Let me help you as much as I possibly can while you got me live. B seems to be the popular answer. Let's take a look at B. Yeah, 24 hours a day. I will also add, if you guys have got bus lanes near where you live or your test route, and you can drive in there at certain times of the day, the examiner expects you to drive in there because there's a bog standard left-hand lane after that. So again, this is similar to what I was saying to Burnt Cinnamon. If Newcastle's got bus lanes that you can use, you need to know that in advance because obviously you're going to need to drive in there on the day of your test as well. So yeah, B's correct. Why should drivers be more careful on roads where trams also operate? Should I be taking mock tests every day? I know. Again, I can't answer that. It depends on what. Selena, you've taken. Right, there's two answers to this. The reason being because you've done the boot camp. You've just literally finished the boot camp. So what I would be doing if I was you, I know you're taking the mock test on the Theory Test Pro, and you're waiting for me to check your answers on that, which I will do come Monday. What you want to be doing in between, right? Okay, tell you what, let's keep it simple. For everybody, if you are studying for Theory Test, my advice is do categories. There's nothing wrong with doing mock test. If you're using the 4-in-1 app, the one I recommend, Driving Test Success, the reason why I recommend that, it gives you the strongest category and your weakest category. Obviously, if you've got a weak category, you need to study that and then move onto another mock test. So let's just say, argument's sake, it's road signs is your weakest category. Study the road signs category and then do a mock test again. And what you're hoping is that the road signs mock test doesn't come up. So the road signs category doesn't come up again as a weakness. If it does, there's still a weakness. That's the reason why I suggest doing the Driving Test Success app, because it gives you your strengths, it gives you your weaknesses. Now, Selena, this is for you. You've just finished the boot camp. So what I would be doing is mock tests, yes. And again, you're looking for your strengths and then you're looking for your weaknesses. So whatever the app showed you as your weakness, that's what you want to restudy, and then still check your recordings, because remember, you got access to the recordings on anything that you may be struggling with. So again, let's use road signs. We did road signs on Tuesday. I know some of you struggled on motorway studs on the boot camp. Again, visit Tuesday's recorded sessions, and rewatch the video on the studs, that type of thing. That's what I would do for you. But when I check your results on Monday, I can give you a more tailored structured training for you personally. That's my advice. But like I said, technically, there is no right or wrong way to study, as long as the information is staying with you. That's the most important thing. If you're studying and it's not going in, then you've got to change the way you're studying. There's got to be something wrong. You need to sleep. James, I appreciate you being there. If you need to go off and get some Z's, feel free to do that. Because I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys giving up your Sunday. There's 102 of you still here at 11:27. I appreciate you guys being there. You don't know how much I appreciate you guys being there. And I know some of you, Saturday night, late nights, late night shifts. There we go. Look, see? Late night work. I appreciate the sacrifice you guys are making. Right. The common answer is A. Trams can't steer. Last one. Why is it particularly important to check your vehicle before making a long journey? Where did it go? Good morning, Dorian. Thank you for your classes. I passed my theory test last week. Congratulations on passing. 44 out of 50 and 53 out of 70. Planning, taking driving lessons. Hopefully the driving lessons go well for you. But first of all, congratulations on passing. Thank you for coming and let me know how you got, and I appreciate that. And I hope the driving lessons go well for you. And please come back and keep me updated how your lessons are going. I'm going to pick on you again in a minute, James. You definitely need some sleep. Awesome, FG. I appreciate the super chats. Study with me series. I need to redo that. But yes, congratulations on passing, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate the super chat. Congratulations. Emmanuel, good morning, came to say thank you for your videos. Helped a lot. Pass 47 out of 50, 56 out of 75. Again, Manuela, congratulations on passing. And I appreciate you coming to let me know how you got on. There's a C on that. What's the C? You have to do more harsh break. If you've got harsh breaking, it's never going to be correct. They're never going to be break for harshly, repeatedly on braking. Continuous high speeds increase the risk of breaking down, so you've got to check your vehicle before going on a long journey. That's the reason why. So again, for those of you that was here at the beginning, when I said to you, your theory test is made up of 14 categories. It's different for everybody who goes in. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 14. This is a 20 question mock test. They gave us 9 categories. So vulnerable road users 3, safety in your vehicle 7 for a 20 question mock test. Wow. Documents 1, hazard awareness 1, motorway rules 3, rules of the road 2, road and traffic signs 1, attitude 1, and other types of vehicles 1. And that's how your theory test could be made up. So for example, you got 7 questions on safety in your vehicle. So if my knowledge was weak and that was 7 out of 50, I'm already now 43. So I can't afford to make any more mistakes, let alone a silly mistake. And that's the reason why your knowledge needs to be strong, because you don't know how it's going to be made up. And that's the reason why I say study each category in turn to make sure your knowledge is strong. But I also will add, when you go for the real test, it is different questions. It can be worded slightly differently. And Sandra's in St. Lucia, and you're here on the live. That's dedication for you. Appreciate that. And I'll be... well, I don't know what time it is over there, but if it was a decent time, I'd be out by the beach. But yeah, thank you for being in. Appreciate that. Right. Yardi's got a test next weekend. Fingers crossed. I wish you luck. I wish you luck. Oh, unfortunately, it's next weekend. So I'm assuming it's got to be a Saturday. He's very ready to do a Sunday test. Yeah, if it's a Saturday, come back and let us know how you got on. I can't give you any more advice between now and then, but at least come back next weekend and let us know how you get on. Rosemary, I came back to say thank you. I passed my theory test last week, Wednesday, 45 out of 50, 57 out of 75. Congratulations to you, Rosemary. And again, I appreciate you coming back and let me know how you got on. Right, so what I'm going to do now is a hazard perception demonstration. Again, I will come out of that one. And let me just remove this. Again, I'm getting a lot of emails this week, or every week now for some reason. Students are passing the questions but failing the hazard perception, and some of the scores that I'm getting are low, which suggests that person doesn't know what a hazard is. Because if you know what a hazard is, you won't get a low score. You may score like 39, 40 because you click late or whatever it is, but if you're getting 20 something, then it suggests you don't know what a hazard is. A hazard is anything that's going to cause you to slow down or change direction. So that's what a hazard is. So anything that's going to cause you to slow down in a straight line or change direction, as in move the car left or move the car right. The hazard perception is the equivalent of you checking the mirror. So if you was driving live in those videos, you was behind the steering wheel looking out the windscreen, you would be checking the mirrors instead of flagging, if that makes sense. So that's what it is. And someone mentions on their mock driver test, again, my memory is really bad when it comes to names. They're taking mock driving tests, if they like, and the instructor said their driving's good, but they don't check their mirror, or they need to check the mirrors a bit more, and blind spot checks. Let me just quickly show you iPad. So this is a driving test report sheet. If you, I'm just got this every week now. Box 17 is your hazard perception. Sorry, your box 17 is your theory test. That's literally what you just did. Traffic signs, road markings, traffic lights, traffic controls, other road users. That's your hazard, your driving theory right there. The examiner's not asking any questions. He's just watching you how you drive, and you need to apply that knowledge based on this sheet. And that box covers quite a bit of your theory test as well. There was another question about motorways, which vehicle should use which lane on a motorway, and that would come under box 23, position normal driving, stay left when possible, and that's where that would be in there. But what we're talking about is hazard perception, which is box 14, and you've got 3 mirror sections. On your hazard perception, for real, they won't do the signaling part because obviously you can't see the car signaling, but they're talking about changing direction. I repeat, going left, going right. That would be your main mirror plus your equivalent door mirror with that. And then change of speed is slowing down or picking up speed, but for the video purposes, it's going to be slowing down. So hopefully that makes sense. So what you want to be doing now is when you do the videos is see the problem, and then you want to click twice, and you want to go, so as soon as you see the problem, click and you count 1, 2. Some people are saying 2 seconds. I don't mention seconds. I have never mentioned seconds. Watch all the videos that I've done on hazard perception. I've never mentioned seconds. You guys are putting that in. So it's just count to 2, literally slowly. Literally go click 1, 2, and click again. If it adds up to 2 seconds, fine. But I'm not putting the number to it. If you need to go for another click, as in a third click to get a score, so be it. It's about getting a score. It's not about you seeing the problem. I repeat that. It's not about you seeing the problem, because you can see it and see early, which means you got 0, which means nothing. You have to see it and get a score. It's about you getting a score. Treat it like a game. High scores, whatever it is to train yourself, need a score, need a score, need a score, need a score. And if you have to click 3 times for that to happen, then click 3 times. So hopefully that makes sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a demonstration, but I'm going to talk you through what I'm saying. Simply me, welcome. It's still morning, afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry, late, sir. No problem. Are you catching up on the chat? That's no problem. Right. So what I'm going to do, iPad, get rid of that, and let me get the thing. If you guys got any questions, still type them in. I'm going to keep monitoring the chat. So let's do a real life clip. I will say when you guys go for your tests on whenever you go for it. It's all CGIs on the apps. It's a combination of CGI and real life, but on the test itself, it's all CGIs. So, right, there's another one that I've not seen before. So it's this one here. It's going to download. No, it's not. So I've not seen this one before. You can see it's downloading to my iPad. So, wow, it's crazy. So the lorry signaling left, don't know why, but I'm going to click. When you're doing this, always coming, oh, that's late. Didn't seem coming back. That was really late, but keep clicking just in case it's double. Again, still scan from left to right, right to left. He's wobbling all over the place. I'm going to click on that one. And again, still scan from left to right, because it could be a double. I'm watching the guy to my left as well. This video seems long. Again, not seeing much going on either. Still looking, still don't see anything to click on. Oh, still got 4 out of 5, even though I thought it was late. Okay, let me just show you, not cheating. 4 out of 5. And then review it back. Always review your clips back to see how you can improve. So let me just speed it up. I thought I missed it. Right, there you go. So as soon as he started to signal, I clicked. because he's changing direction. If it takes too long to get out of the lane, it could cause me to slow down. That's the reason why I clicked on it. So this is where you start to move back. I got a late 4. So my first one was a 4, and my second one looks like it was in a 2, maybe a 1. But like I said, they give you the highest score. That's why there's no benefits in clicking once. Lots of benefits in clicking twice, but no benefits in clicking once. So let me just rewind it back, see if I could have clicked earlier. Yeah, I could have. If I saw the signal. He starts a signal there. So I could have probably got a 5 out of that. So you always look to see how you can improve in that situation. So hopefully that makes sense with that. Let me just see if you guys are making any comments. Simply means wishing everyone, or saying well done to everyone. Your hair, that's the main thing. James, you to next month. No problem. You take care of yourself, get some rest. Shame that you're going to be missing the sunshine. And it's supposed to be a good hot day today. Right, so let me do a real life clip. Let me see if there's another one that's not loaded up yet. There's another one. Seems like this one's not been done yet either. So these are all new to me. As you can see, it's downloaded. Oh, window wipers are going on this one. So again, always look from left to right, right to left, because that's where road signs are. He's gone from left straight over to the right-hand lane. Yeah, I don't see nothing to be clicking on yet. The coach is signaling in the distance. It's causing everyone to slow down. And I'm going to go for a third one just in case. I'm going to go for a fourth one. Remember, for me, it's about getting a score. So as much as I saw what the coach was doing, I need to get a score. That's all that matters to me. And that's what you guys should be thinking about. Score, score, score. Not just, I saw it click. End of. So I went for 4 clicks on that. I should have clicked on that again, to be fair. Talking too much. And the coach is going back to the left. Two out of 5, so that's really bad. So how could I improve? Let's just speed it up. Right, so this is where it starts to slow down. So I went for 4 clicks well after. All right, let's go back and see how I can improve on that. The window wipers. Right, so it's saying I'm not seeing how I can improve on that, to be fair. I can't see nothing. Right, just there he signaled. Right, so yeah, maybe the coach is starting to signal now based on that. You probably can't see it on the video, but pausing it, I can see the signal there. So maybe I could have signaled there. Not maybe, I could have. That's what he's saying to me. But as I said, it's about getting a score. So at this point, I got 2. Remember, you need to average 3 per video. So I'm -1 at this point. So providing I get 4s and 5s on the other videos, it's going to bring my average up. But at least I got a score. It's easier to get 1 or 2 across the videos rather than trying to get 3 or 4 across the other videos. So like I said, it's all about improving. So don't be afraid to look back at your score. So I'm just reading the comments. Look back at your score and say, how can I improve? How will I know a clip will have it? You don't, but you don't care. That's not important. It's just get scores. Portia, you're welcome. Blessing, it's not, this is for everyone. You guys, again, you guys are stressing over doubles and just keep clicking. If it's got a double, you're going to score. If it hasn't got a double, you won't. But if you're trying to work out which one's got a double, you're clicking based on which one you think's got a double. That's not how it works. You're clicking just for the sake of clicking on a hazard. So it's not a case of, right, which video's got 6 hazards, which video's got 2 hazards, which video's got 3 hazards. You just want to see a problem and just click on it. That way you're going to do it in a relaxed frame of mind rather than worrying about how many clicks you have, whether this one's my double or not. It makes no difference. You shouldn't be thinking about which one's got a double, which one hasn't, how many videos have got hazards on there, how many clicks I'm allowed to have. That's all brain power wasted. When you're driving in real life, you're not going to be able to work out which problems are going to be a problem. Will a car pull out? Will that bike pull out? You just want to see the problem, click mirror. See a problem, click mirror. That's all it is. Right, let me do a real life clip. Say real life, sorry. I'll get there in the end. CGI clip. There's no new ones. I can't see any new ones. Right, let's try to get one that's got a low score. Let's see if I can improve on this one. So snow. Give this comment. Again, looking from left to right, the car coming out from the left. Click on that. It's actually skidded into the road. The van coming out. So if the car skidded, the van can skid. And then click again just to make sure I get a score. And then keep going, similar to what I just said to Blessing. Just keep going. You don't know which one has a hazard. So if there's a hazard comes up, I'm going to click. So I'm going to click on this one. It's got a slight bend. And there's not much more going on. Four out of 5. Could I improve on that? Let me just show you, sorry, to make sure I'm not cheating. 4 out of 5. And just speed it up. So there's my 2 clicks for the car that skidded out into the road. All right, there's my 4, and that's a 3. So where I could have improved is right there where the van comes into play. So as soon as I saw the van, I could have clicked there, I got a 5. So that's how you improve. Like I said, remember, you guys are practicing at home. Your aim is, your ultimate goal, sounds weird, your ultimate goal is to get a 50 out of 50 on your questions, and ideally 75 out of 75 on your hazard perception. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen all the time, if at all. What you are looking to do is improve as you go along. So if you got 44 on the mock test, you're trying to get 45 the next one, 46. You learn more from getting things wrong because you're trying to understand why you got things wrong. If you're passing every single test, you don't learn nothing from that. All that does is give you complacency. I think I know it all, blah, 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 I'm good to go. You really want to keep on your toes by saying, right, how can I improve? How can I improve? And then you're trying to perfect your art. So if you aren't flagging questions, for example, ask yourself why you're not flagging, because it's unlikely that you're going to go into the real test and do something that you're not used to doing. You need to get in the habit of flagging questions at home. So when you go for the real test, it's natural. Once you change something that's not natural, it normally goes wrong. So you're practicing to practice your art when you go for the real test. Same thing like your driving lessons. On your driving lessons, you're practicing what you're going to do for your driving test. Once you go for your driving test and change anything, the chances are it's going to lead to failure because you're doing something that's not natural. So don't be afraid to get things wrong at home. Let's talk about improving. That's what it's about. Blessings, you're welcome. Infinity, let me first of all welcome to you. Answer your questions. The bootcamp spaces, I don't keep track of that. It's automatic. Once it gets to a certain number, it locks off. So I believe there is spaces during the month of April and a few spaces in the month of May. Am I based in Luton or London? I live in Luton. I now work in North London. And for driving lessons, the boot camp is online, it's via Zoom. So you're not traveling anywhere. It's on your mobile, laptop, desktop, tablet, whatever it is that you want. But I live in Luton, but I do my driving intensive courses in London. So I hope that answers that. Use whatever you got to hand. Again, because you are doing the boot camp, use different apps, because different apps will have questions worded. They're all the same questions basically, generally, but they just word it slightly differently. So it's good to test your knowledge to make sure you fully understand it. Just because they change the wording, everyone thinks, oh my God, I've never seen that question before. But the answer's the same. It still leads to safety. Doesn't care how they word it, the answer's the same. So you can use it as any apps, any amount of apps that you want. You just mix and match. So it's not a problem. Right, hopefully that answers all the questions with that. Like I said, with the driving test success, this is the one I'm using with the one you can see there. Let me come out of that. That's the one I recommend. But the DVSA one's decent. I wouldn't recommend it because I don't think the interface is that brilliant. But as long as you find your way around it, the questions are worded slightly differently, but it gives you a good chance to practice your different knowledge. Like I said, the questions worded differently, so there's nothing wrong. They're all $4.99. I know some of you don't like paying out for apps, but you got to ask yourself, what it's going to cost you? $4.99 to use an app and hopefully pass, or use a free app that doesn't give you everything you need and fail the theory test, which is £23 and for the next go. So I think it's worth it. And most of the apps nowadays are starting to put driving stuff in it as well, which means you can use it after you've passed the theory test for your driving knowledge. So it's pretty much a complete package. But I would use different apps if I was you guys studying now, because things are changing slightly. That's what I would do. That's my recommendation. Mix it up a bit and just make sure you're consistent across the board and not unconsciously memorizing the answers, because that's what happens sometimes when you do the same app over and over again. You just memorize the answers unintentionally. Right, so I don't see any more comments in there or any questions, so I'm going to leave it there for this Sunday. I appreciate you guys being here, because without you, there's no live. Without you guys, there's no Driving Theory UK. As you guys are studying through the week, if you guys got any questions, please jot them down. Bring it next Sunday so I can answer it for you. And for those of you that's got a driving theory test or driving test, either way, this week, I wish you the best of luck with that. Please come back next Sunday and let us know how you got on. But the most important thing with this week, stay safe. Just look after yourself and stay safe. And I wish to catch you next Sunday.